All right, all right, all right. I sound like Matthew McConaughey tonight. Welcome. It's a super classy team call. Tonight we have the most amazing guest speaker on. Her name is Julie Henderson. She is from Buffalo, New York. She is one of the most incredible women. Tabitha, I know, is listening right now as she is muted because she's with her 2-year-old, but Tabitha can vouch. When you're around Julie, you feel like you are not only the only person in the room. She's so present. She's so loving. She's kind of like, I would say, like my mom in this business, really. Like I was almost crying during my shift shop workout today because I was like, Julie took me in when I was an orphan and I had no one to help me in this business. Yeah, she's our big sister. And she's our MILF. I'm just joking. This is not a classy call. I'm really sorry. Sometimes I just have to say it. But no, I was really thinking, I was like, I really could just bust into tears because when Matt and I started, Matt and Julie kind of started at the same time. And I was, pregnant and out of it and eating donuts. And he was doing the ultimate reset and eating kale. And, he was all focused and I was not. But he was like, okay, I'm talking to Julie and she's so great. You need to reach out to her. And so they kind of had a bond. And then, of course, Julie took me in and under her wing. And literally, wait, do I need to mute anyone? Okay. Tab and I had a question about, how do we run team calls with 2 separate teams and different things. She was on the phone with us in, I don't know what, an hour. Like she's just my go-to girl. If I need anything, I can voice memo her. She's always there for me. I love you to the moon and back. You are the most generous person I've ever met. So thank you for being here tonight. Okay guys, I'm going to mute because there's a little bit of background noise. Yeah, we use a lot of your documents. We pretty much steal all the content that you've taken hours to create and we use it.
And I'm throwing it all in the garbage.
Are you? Really am. Oh my goodness.
My team doesn't know yet, but I'm deleting everything.
Why?
Because there's just like information overload and I just want to get back to basics.
Yeah. Ooh, we need to talk about that tonight. Okay, let me give them your stats so you can, because this is like amazing work. You guys have no idea what Julie has done with her team. And she is not only a mama, big sister to our team, she's got an incredibly huge team. She is 7-star in her first business center. She's 1-star in her second business center. That's a lot of work. She is a lot of good work. A lot of people help. She's SC5 All-Star Legend, which is 24 months consecutive in Success Club 5 or higher. And then she's a 2-time elite coach. So that just goes to show that her heart is in this game and she really, really, really cares about seeing people's lives changed. Yeah, really impressive. So Julie, do you want to just kind of take it over and tell us a little bit about your story and how you quit your corporate job and
Sure. Well, thank you for having me on the call. Like, I absolutely love you and Matt. I mean, like Stacy said, Matt and I kind of started around the same time. We're orphaned coaches. I couldn't even tell you the last time I've heard from my coach. So it just kind of goes to show like you can make it happen. And I think with a lot of the coaches that started with me and Matt, there are a lot of coaches who like sat there and I got to the point where I was like, okay, I can sit here and wait for training to drop in my lap and I can sit here and wait to be told what to do, but that's not going to happen. And so it was just kind of like, all right, I have to like either figure it out or, or not. So I headed to Google, headed to YouTube. I followed like every top coach that I could find and I just watched what they were doing. And I was like, okay, if this is what makes them successful, then I need to do this too and figure out how to make it my own. So that way it was my own personality. And I screwed up everything like a million times, but I would learn from it and figure out like how to tweak it, how to make it work, talk to other coaches and yeah, just really like putting in the hard work. But I was already posting on social media. I was like that annoying person. I had P90X that I bought on eBay. I had TurboFire that I bought on Craigslist and I met a guy in a parking lot in a gas station to buy that from him. And on all the videos, it says, sign up at teambeachbody.com and you get a free coach. So I signed up, I got a free coach and they never reached out. And I just kind of thought it was, and I actually never even thought it was like a real person. I thought it was like some automated chat, like, oh, you get a coach. So I was doing P90X for a couple years, on and off. I was doing like another workout. It was actually a VHS, and it's hilarious. Like time hop kills me because I posted on Facebook that my tape player ate my workout that I was doing. And so I was like, I guess it's time to go dust off P90X. So I went online, I Googled some P90X meal plans, and came across my coach she's my coach technically, but she doesn't really coach. So I reached out to her, but at the time I was posting on Facebook my workouts. It was keeping me accountable. Like I was that annoying person. Like I had the little Nike thing that fit in the bottom of your shoe, and like my workouts, my runs automatically went to Facebook. Like I was just that person, and I didn't care if I annoyed anybody. I was like, this is keeping me accountable. So I had people coming up to me asking me like what I was doing, and I was helping them with like the fitness and telling them, yeah, go buy P90X on eBay. So when I found out I could become a coach, like it just made sense. I was like, I get a discount and I can earn some money. I had never thought that I would be doing this full time. And I'm thankful for the coaches in the network who share their income and share what the possibilities are, because without that, I wouldn't have been able to dream big and be like, hey, they can do this full time. Maybe I could do this full time. So yeah, I was working at a spa full time. I was an esthetician, and I was going to school for massage when I became a coach. I was just finishing school. So I was working full time, going to school full time, studying for my state boards. Definitely did not have time to coach. But when I do things, I kind of do it all. And so I took on one more thing, became a coach. A year later, I was full time, and I've been full time since, and it's been about 5.5 years now.
That is amazing. And who were you working for when you quit?
I was working at a spa.
Okay, because you used to work for General Motors, I remember.
Yeah. So I worked so going all the way back, like I used to work for General Motors, and I worked there 6 years to the day. I actually just had my, what would it be, 11-year anniversary of leaving there on October 2nd. And I kind of feel like you need shit in your life to happen and like be bad sometimes to like give you that push. So like I hated working there. I was working on a line, and my last job that I had there, I was drilling screws. I drilled like a screw, like 8-9 screws in a piece of plastic and push it aside. And I did that all day long. And I was like swing shift, midnight. I was like overnights, mandatory overtime. Like it was just crazy. And I needed that to like give me that push to be like, I hate this. And it was really good money. It was really good benefits. People thought I was crazy when I said I was going to leave. Like I even had one girl. It's so funny because, and I think this kind of goes with anything. Like when you really like figure out what you want and you stick to like what your goals are, and you really like know yourself, there's a really good chance that your goals are not going to be like what society says your goals should be. And that really screws with people's heads. Like they can't really comprehend that. They can't really understand that. And I'm sure like when you guys became a coach, a lot of people were like, you're doing what? Like you can really do that? Or like, or even just when you're losing weight, when you start to feel better and lose weight, people are like, who are you trying to impress? Or, oh, now that you can't eat, like we all go through that where we have those people give us those like snide comments, or, our challengers, like that first time they come to you and they're upset because the people that they thought would be the most supportive of them are not, and it sucks. So, I even had people like tell me that I was going to gain weight if I quit there. And it's interesting because now I know through personal development that it's the stories that people tell themselves and they're projecting on you and all of that. But so I left. People thought I was crazy. I had no idea what I was going to do, but I was like, I need to be happy. So that's what I did. I just did things that made me happy. And that's kind of what I led with. I didn't lead with like, okay, I'm supposed to go to school, get this job, get married, have kids, have this house. I was like, I don't want kids. I don't want to live in the suburbs. Like I've always been that, like, I don't know, like kind of just go for like the stuff that nobody else really has on paper as their goals. But leading with how I want to feel first and foremost. And if you've read the Desire Map by Danielle Laporte, that's what she talks about in there, is like writing down how you want to feel. And kind of focusing on that, because you can get so caught up in like the goals on paper, but they're not really aligned with what you actually want. And Stacy, did you ever do like the 30-day push when Shalene had that out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I loved that. And she talked a lot about that, where she was like, you can have goals and then your priorities and they might not line up. And so one of Shalene's goals was she wanted to have a TV show. And what she started to realize is if I had this TV show, it was going to keep me away from my kids. I was going to be traveling. It was going to be long hours. And that didn't line up with my priorities, because my priorities were my family and spending time with them. And so, it's really like focusing on what you actually want at the core, and not like, this surface level or even like any kind of goals. Like they can be really big goals and they can be great goals, but are they lined up with what you actually want?
Right. And that's what's so special about this business is you can have time and money, which is really rare. And, it takes being what you said earlier, resourceful. You don't even need an upline team or files in a Facebook group or anything. You can go to YouTube and Google now and become a successful coach just off of that. But I love that you said that, because this business takes that vision and that desire, because the what it takes will always be, or the how to get there will always be there, but the why and the why you want it and what you really want for your life, that's something that you have to have and so deep in your soul, like no one can take it from you.
Absolutely. And like, I think the one thing that really helped me is I always knew that I would be successful with it. Like there was never any doubt in my mind. I never had a time where I was like, oh, maybe this isn't going to work, or maybe I should quit, or maybe like I always knew. And even if it may take me longer than I thought, I always knew that it was going to happen. And I was like, I just can't stop. I just can't stop moving. Because when you stop moving, that's when you literally start back from scratch. Like it's not that you don't like work for a month and then take a month off and then just pick up where you left off. You lose all of that momentum in this business. And so that I think was so important, is that consistency and just doing it every single day, because I didn't want to have to start back from scratch. And I just knew, like, all right, just one foot in front of the other, just keep going through the motions, keep doing it, keep showing up every day. And eventually it's going to pay off.
Well, it's like our workouts. Like I'm not taking a month off from my workouts. Are you kidding me? I've worked so hard to be able to plank as long as I can. And it's easier now. I'm not going back to make it hard again. And that's how it is with the business. And that's why it's a vital behavior, is because we need to stick in that game. I was going to ask you actually tonight, if you ever had a time where you were going to throw in the towel, where you were going to quit, because I've never heard you talk about that ever.
And I honestly haven't. And I don't know why. Like, I don't know what there's not like one specific thing that like I heard or was told, or like some coach that like said something. I think it's just like everything from like the coaches that I was following from the beginning, just everything that they talked about, and just seeing their vision and them building their businesses and like what they had created. And I was like, it's going to happen. I just have to put the work in. It's going to take time.
Right. And we all know from reading personal development that success there's really not a lot of secrets. It's not that, oh, you're special, so you get to be successful because you were born from your mother's womb special. Like, it's not like that, and it takes a minute for that to sink in sometimes, because you look at these people and you go, it's easier for them, or their story is more dramatic than mine, or this or that. And you speak to maybe some of the newer coaches on the call, about that. Like, what would you tell a new coach who maybe is kind of like, ugh?
Well, it is, like you said, people want the secret, and it's so fun. Like, it's so crazy how similar coaching and your fitness journey, like your coaching journey and your fitness journey, how similar those really are, because it is the same. It's, if you bought P90X and just sat on your shelf, you're not going to get results. If you bought P90X and like half-assed it, or did it whenever you felt like it, or didn't follow the meal plan, like your results aren't going to be the same as if you went all in and did it every single day to the T, how it's written, and followed it. Same thing with coaching. Like, you don't just sign up as a coach and be successful. You don't just sign up as a coach and post here and there and like, kind of do it when you feel like it, and not really put in the effort, and maybe like skip inviting or skip personal development. It's like skipping the meal plan or skipping your Shakeology with your workout. And so it really is, if you use the tools that you have, but with both of them, with coaching and with the workouts, you're given the tools. You have everything you need to succeed, like right in this little box. And it's telling you like, do this, 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 and this. and then do it every single day. And it really is that simple. And there's so many people who are like, okay, but what's the real secret? Like, how do you really do it? And that's what it is. And the same thing with weight loss. Like, people will always ask, like, okay, but what are you really eating? What are you really doing for your workout? Like, what are you taking? You know, like, they just want that. They want something to tell them that it's going to be easier. Like, this is my magic pill. And, you know, but no, it's consistency and putting the work in. That's the not sexy answer.
There's no Zinedrin up in his house. No Zinedrin for y'all. You got right? No, I'm just teasing. I know. I usused to walk down to GNC and buy that crap when I worked at Nordstrom as I was smoking my cigarette at my break. Anyways, we won't talk about that. But yeah, I love that you said that. And you know, I wanted to ask you too, because you founded Team Synergy, and it is a very synergistic, like, you take care of so many people. How do you, you know, our team is much smaller. There's not a lot of people adding coaches to the team as quickly. You know, how did you kind of get your leaders to duplicate what you had done and what you were doing, and to kind of let them lead on their own and kind of get on their own, but still be that mama bear side that you are to them? Like, what's that? Can you speak to that for us a little bit? Maybe I'm asking this for myself too.
I mean, I attracted a lot of leaders at the beginning, but they were people who had followed me for years. Like, my team never built fast, but they stuck with it. So like, a lot of my coaches, I mean, they weren't hitting, I mean, Tatiana was the only one that really hit diamond like super fast. Everybody else, they had, you know, followed me for a while, whether I knew it or not. I mean, some of them had followed me for like a year or two, and I had no idea because they hadn't reached out to me, or they had been friends with me, and you know, I had been talking to them about it for like 2 years before they signed up. So they were, I attract stubborn people like that, where they're like stubborn to get started, and it takes them like a lot. Like, I remember, even Tatiana though, I remember, I think it was the night that she signed up as a coach. I remember I was married at the time. I remember looking at my ex-husband, and I was like, she's either going to block me on Facebook tonight or she's going to become a coach. And I'm not a pushy person at all. Like, I'm like, not, you know, I think we all kind of know like that coach personality, and that's not me whatsoever. But I mean, she was like posting affiliate links to buy Insanity off of Amazon. I'm like, you're making 4%. Like, come on, let's be real here. Like, you're struggling in your health business. It was just, it got to the point where I just had to be like blunt with her. I'm like, what are you doing? You're making this so much harder on yourself than it needs to be. But yeah, I mean, I think just from the start, what I noticed for myself is, because I had no training, I tried to handhold a lot at first. And then I realized that all that was doing was making people sit there and be like, okay, tell me what to do next. And I realized that wasn't creating leaders. And so from then on, I was like, okay, I'm here to help. But at the same time, like, there are steps to go through. Like, the FAQ is there. You know, you have to own your own coach business. So like, you know, use the FAQ, use Google, use YouTube, search the group, because it's probably already been asked in this group 100 times. And once I started to kind of create that culture, you know, where it still was open for questions, like nobody was going to get like made fun of or anything for asking questions, but they also knew that there was a really good chance that if they asked a question, especially like a compliance question or something, I was going to answer with, well, what did Coach Relations say? Did you look at the FAQ yet? And they heard that enough that they got sick of that being the answer, that they finally started to do that on their own.
I know. We have so many baby leaders on this team where I'm like, oh, it's just about time. You just got to keep trucking and like adding new people all the time, inviting them to get on your bus, and and kind of doing things on and really owning it, like you did in the beginning, where you were like, I know this is going to work for me. I just have to figure out, you know, how I can plug my personality in and make it stick for the long run. Because we all want this, you know, we're here because we want it.
Yes. And I think also something that had helped was, like when I do biz ops or like team calls, is reaching out to people and asking them to join, or like, you know, do you want to speak on this team call, or can you post about how you do whatever in the team page? because I think it's kind of like, we all get in our own heads and nobody really thinks that you have anything to offer. And everybody feels like they're a baby coach, and then everybody already knows what they're doing. And a lot of times, you know, it's the things that we take for granted that we do, and the things that we do without even thinking about it that could benefit other people. Like, it's usually something like so small and so simple that I'll hear from another coach. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. Like, why didn't I ever think of that? You know? And so just really like reaching out and letting them know that like, you do have a voice. What you are doing is important. You know, you do have a lot to offer to this team. That helps them see the leader in themselves. Right. And helps them, you know, have that confidence as a leader.
That's so good. I love that. And recognizing as much as possible, you know, just taking a screenshot of a conversation and being like, what? She's got it. Or, you know, just like always loving and, you know, telling, we'll post that in the group because other people need to hear about that.
Yeah. And my team's been really good about like, if they see a coach make a really good post, they'll post in my coach group, like, hey, you know, Kat, that post was amazing. And then it does a couple things, because it gives Kat the recognition that she deserves. But then also new coaches can go and snoop Kat's post and see what she did. And so they can kind of get an idea of like a really good post and how to word things and how to invite in it. So, you know, it kind of works both ways.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, and we're going to talk about 80-day obsession here in a hot second, because I know you guys all want to like dive in and talk to Julie about the fact that she's in the test group. And what day are you guys on? What are you?
59 today.
Oh, I was like, is it 60 yet? 59. Oh, I love it. Okay. So
question.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's Kate. You said you're not like one of those coaches who's like super pushy and everything. So, but you are really comfortable. Is it true that you're really comfortable sharing everything? Or at the beginning, I should say, like you were like, oh, I don't care if everybody sees my runs or my workouts. It's just keeping me accountable. Do you have any advice because I feel like I'm a little bit more personal, and especially on my Facebook page, and that's definitely holding me back from being as successful probably.
Honestly, just do it. Like I remember the first time I posted my results pictures. I had just finished Body Beast, and I had done a photo shoot in the morning. I went to a brewery after because I had done it perfect the whole time. And I remember sitting in the parking lot. I hit send. I thought I was going to puke, and I actually left my phone in my car because I didn't even want to look at it and didn't want to deal with anything. And I was just like, I can't believe I just posted that. And I think my pictures were only like waist up. And that was like, now, I mean, I'm like, here's a picture of my ass, you know, like, honestly, it's just do it and you get more comfortable with it. Same thing with, just with life in general. It's kind of funny, like the more you do it and the more you start to see people relate to it and that you can actually help people, the more you almost want to post it, because you're like, okay, people like this. Like, I had never posted about like dating or relationships or anything. My ex-husband was very private. My ex-husband actually like didn't want anybody to know that we were even getting divorced. And I was like not living with him anymore. And I'm like, I'm doing videos on Facebook. At some point, somebody's going to notice that there's a different background. Like, we can't pretend we're married forever. People are going to find out at some point. So we finally just like met. We get along. So we went out for wine and met and took a selfie and like wrote this whole post and just like got it out there. But like when I first started posting about like dating and stuff, I had never really thought that that would like fit into my target market whatsoever at all. And I have so many women come up to me now, and they're like, you know, I'm going through a divorce or I'm separated, and you have helped me because I've seen like how you've come out of it and how you're living your life and you didn't let it destroy you. I've kind of made online dating not so scary for single people too, because I'm like obsessed with online dating. And so now I post about it, and those are some of my posts that get like the most interaction. And then I also have people that are married that are like, I'm so glad I'm not dating right now. But honestly, it's just like anything else. The more you do it, the more you're going to get comfortable with it. And so it's just, you know, kind of baby step into it. You know, you don't have to just like, I think this is one thing that a lot of people coaches do. is they feel like if they have to put their story out there, they have to like put it all out there. And they'll make like this huge long post and just kind of like word vomit. And I think it's better to like just little drops here and there, like little breadcrumbs. And I think that's one of the really great things about Instagram stories. I'm kind of obsessed with it right now, is because it is so short that you kind of have to get to the point and just say like little bits here and there. So I hope that helps.
Yeah. And
it gets better.
Oh my, yeah, it does. Cause I did the same thing when I posted my before and after photo. I closed my computer and I walked away for like 8 hours, and Matt was like, babe, you have 30 comments on that picture. You better reply to those people. And I was like, I don't want to. I'm never opening my computer again. I'm burning it. So yeah, it's scary as heck. And even now there'll be times where I'm like, just do it, Stace. And there's a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F that Angie, I think maybe a couple of coaches. Have you read that?
I haven't, but I heard it's really good. So I have so many books that I have not read, like it's ridiculous. And I just bought like 4 more this week. Yeah.
Guys, Julie has such a relaxed ease, like her personal style. You need to follow her. You need to study her. You need to see what she posts because she's so fun. And you can feel that on this call, number one. And number two, you can feel it in her social media. Go to her featured photos that she has on her Facebook, because I think they're really awesome too. They're really motivating to me. So I love that. And Julie, I know you kind of talked about like, you know, you don't, like even with the coaches, they don't maybe feel like they have something to offer in the coach group. But what would you speak to for coaches who maybe don't even feel like they have anything to offer on social media? Because that was something that I really had to work my head around. And I'm like, well, okay, what are things that I know how to do? What do my girlfriends ask me about? What are things I just know naturally how to do? Let me share about that. Like kind of tell us how because it takes a lot of work to show up on social media, and you're putting a lot of time in before you get payback. So kind of tell us.
So first I want to say that like everybody feels like this. So when you become a 5-star coach, you get put into a group. It used to be called The Wall. They redid it. Now it's called the Round Table. And every single coach who is put in that group does not feel like they belong. They feel like they are like an imposter, and that they somehow like snuck through the cracks and they like didn't earn their spot in there. Every single coach posts about it. Every single coach goes through the same thing. So it is completely normal to feel that way. And so, like I said, I think like it's kind of what you do automatically that other people need to know. Like Shalene says it best, like you're an expert at being you and how you have done you. And so really just doing like this huge brain dump of like what you're interested in, what your hobbies are, you know, what you've overcome. Like think back to one of the trainings I did, they called it like Island A and Island B. So like your Island A is like you before, and it could be like anywhere. Like my Island A, if I were like to figure out my story, I could take my Island A all the way back to like when I was working for GM, when I was like, you know, miserable in my job. I was smoking cigarettes. I was like just starting to run. You know, I could do my Island A there. I could do my Island A like when I started doing P90X. I could do my Island A even just like a year ago, you know, a year out of my divorce and how things are changing with that. But really it's kind of like where you were and then where you want to be or where you are now. That's your Island B. And so really just kind of doing like a big brain dump and just thinking of like what you've overcome, the things you do in your daily life that you most likely take for granted. Another thing that helps with that too is having a friend look at it with you, because a lot of times like I can look at somebody else and be like, oh, this is totally your market. Like one of my coaches, Jen's amazing because she did P90X with her husband and had insane results years before I ever started. They became friends with Josh Spencer on Facebook years before I was involved in any of this. And then 2 years after I became a coach, she finally signed up, ironically on Josh's team. Like it's just such a weird, like how it was all connected. And I've known Jen forever. I was friends with her brother when we were like 14. So like I can look at Jen's like, I don't know what makes me special. I don't know any of this. I'm like, you have 4 kids, first of all. I'm like, you have 4 kids, you have twins, you have 3 boys, you have like a pretty big age gap between like the 3 and then the other one. Like, number one, you are super consistent with your workouts. Like, you're not missing your workouts at all, and you're managing 4 kids. That right there, you need to talk about like how you even do that and how like you make that work. That's huge. I was just out to lunch with her 2 days ago for her birthday, and she now has, her oldest son is in high school, her 2 middles are in middle school, and then her daughter is in elementary school. And she's like, now I don't know what to do with my time. You know, it's just kind of weird having them out of the house. I'm like, how many people would relate to that? Like, you need to talk about that, you know, and it's the things that you go through just on a day-to-day basis that people really relate to.
I love that. Well, and, you know, speaking of, Shalene even says, you know, I've made businesses based on the struggles that I've gone through in my life. Like, I've heard Shalene specifically say that, and that's so true. Like, now you're attracting new people because you did go through a divorce, you know, and you didn't let that divorce stop your Beachbody business. You didn't just, oh, I'm going through this crazy personal thing that's, you know, super stressful. You didn't just give up on your dreams because of that. And I think a lot of coaches, you know, Beachbody coaching is the first thing that goes out the window. And so I love that you didn't do that, because now you've gained even more trust from people, I think, in that. And so, you know, new coaches that start up, I'm like, just know that when you're trying to level up, things are going to come at you now. Just be aware of it. And when you've got your feet solid on the ground, that you need to be here and you need to stay here no matter what comes your way. And so, you know, all the stuff we've been through, like even with my breast augmentation, I had 5 surgeries in 7 months. I could not work out. I had to share it. I posted about it, and it really, you know, it really helped, I think, just solidify my relationships with a ton of people, and it helped the team. And so it was good. I love that you said that.
Real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people relate to your struggles. And so my coach, when I became a coach, the small amount of coaching that she did was basically telling us that we had to look a certain way, we had to act a certain way, we had to talk a certain way. I remember being at Summit the very first year, and she was like, you're not allowed to drink, and nobody can see you drink. I don't know if you guys have ever been to a Beachbody event, but Beachbody coaches can party. And so here we were like tiptoeing around on eggshells, like thinking we had to act and look a certain way. And I remember it was probably like 6 months into coaching, and I had posted a picture of a beer, and somebody messaged me. They're like, are you allowed to drink that? And that was such a wake up call for me, because I was like, oh my God, like, people think that I'm perfect. They like put me on this pedestal. Like, I eat like this, I work out like this, and they don't want that. They want to have their life. They want to be able to be real. They're not relating to me because they think that this is easy for me, and that I'm just like running around like working out and farting rainbows. Like, so nobody gave a shit about what I was doing, because they didn't see themselves in me. They didn't see their struggles in me. And I remember like making this conscious decision, like, all right, I have to be me. Like, I have to be like as me as I can. And I totally changed that. Pissed off my coach by doing it, but my business blew up. And that's when I attracted the people that I wanted to attract, and, you know, the people that I needed to.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Please say that you've posted like a stock Beachbody photo of like Tony Horton or
oh my God,
John T. Say yes. Just
absolutely.
Say
yes. Like, I'm telling you, time hop is so scary. So scary.
I know.
Because we had no clue what we were doing. Okay, so let me tell you this. When Stacy and I started, you guys are so spoiled. Like, it's not even funny. We had no coach page. Challenge groups were brand new, and they were totally different. Let me tell you about challenge groups first. Challenge groups, they were supposed to be 5 people. Was that what it was? 5 people doing the same exact program, starting on the same exact day for the entire 90-day program. You guys know how hard it is to get like 5 people posting for 3 weeks? Think of 90 days. So you're going through this challenge group, basically talking to yourself for 90 days, and hoping that they all start on the same day. And then, like, because it was all supposed to be the same workout, you had like 10 different groups going. So that was like the very first challenge groups that ever started. There was no training in the back office whatsoever. There was no coach training. We had no coach pages. We had no team calls. Like, it was just kind of like, here's how to make links. And then in the back office, all that was there was stock photos. Like, here, use all these stock photos. We're like, all right, spam everywhere. I mean, we were clueless.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And it's like, you don't want to be a one-dimensional person where like even your friends are uncomfortable to be around you because you're like, well, we're not going to invite the Rodys to a party because they're just going to make us all eat kale, you know? Like, you have to just be real, and it's more fun that way because then you can face your friends a little easier too.
Yeah.
You can't just like sign up to be a coach and you're just this perfect. But I do remember going to Summit and literally thinking everyone would have a 6-pack. I was I even packed my turkey burgers on the plane because I was like, I have to eat healthy when I'm in Vegas. And I did need to because I'm gluten-free. So I kind of have to pack that crap. But, you know, so funny. Oh my goodness. Okay. So for the sake of the fact that it's going to be midnight where you are soon, number one, can we all smile and take a picture for Instagram stories? Because I always freaking forget. Do you always forget like when you're doing a call? Well, you probably don't, but.
No, I totally do too.
Okay. So everybody smile. Why did I like stop talking when I was smiling? Okay. Did it even take? Okay. Yay. Perfect, guys. Okay. You're all so beautiful. Let's talk about 80-day obsession really quick. So how long are the workouts? That's what I haven't even looked it up. I haven't even FAQ'd it.
They are almost all an hour. The cardio, there's 2 cardios a week, cardio flow and cardio plus core. Those are a little bit shorter. They're like 30 to 40 minutes, but let me tell you, the hour flies by. So I totally have ADD. Oh, let me talk about this real quick first. Personal development is huge. Like, if you're not doing it, somebody's gonna be able to know. Like, you can tell your coach that you're doing it, but like everybody around you will know. You can't really hide it. So anyways, personal development is so huge. And the one thing that I see a lot of, and this is going to make sense to like, I'll tie it into something that I'm going through right now. A lot of things that I see coaches do is they do like the stuff that they like, kind of like anything, you know, you do the easy stuff, or you do the fun stuff, or you do the stuff that you like. Like, I would totally rather sit on Canva and create photos all day long rather than following up with people. Like, I hate following up with people, but I know that that's super important. It's like the number one thing that is building my business. So, what I see a lot of people do is the fun stuff or the easy stuff. And so like, my team is super into like You Are a Badass and all those books, which are great. But a lot of times or like Universe Has Your Back, things like that, great books, but chances are, if those are the books you radiate to, you don't need them. You already have that part figured out, and you're just like strengthening something that is already strong. And so like, or the guys on my team, men are so stubborn to coach. So I do all my marketing to women. But the men on my team, they stick to like the more business stuff, like Go Pro, because they don't want to do like the woo-woo feel good stuff. So what I really urge you guys to do is figure out like, what are you struggling with right now? And try to figure out like a book to go with that. So for instance, I'm totally ADD, and if you can't tell already. And so I started listening to, this is so ADD. I started listening to a book on how to work with ADD, and then I just couldn't concentrate on it. And so the second thing is I'm moving to Virginia in 6 weeks. And this is huge. So going back to my story, the reason I was going to massage school when I became a coach is because I was an esthetician. And as an esthetician, when you, it takes a really long time to build up your business and to build up your clients. And I wanted to move out of state so bad. I live in Buffalo. I hate the cold. I hate the snow. And so it was always one of my huge goals, is that I wanted to move out of state. So I went to massage school only because I knew that if I moved out of state, it would be easier for me to get a job and start building my clients if I had my aesthetics license and my massage license. Ironically, I've never used my massage license because then I started coaching. After my divorce, I thought about moving, but I was really nervous because I was, newly divorced. I was married for 15 years, or I was married for 12 years. We were together about 15. I didn't know if I would be lonely. I didn't know what my new life was going to be like. I didn't want to start somewhere from scratch, brand new, not knowing anybody. So now my lease is up in a month and a half, and I'm like, I have no reason not to. I work from home. I can bring my business anywhere I want. Through coaching, I have met some of my best friends, including my best friend. So I'm moving down to Virginia. I'll be about an hour away from my best friend. I'll be 30 minutes away from another girl who's almost like one of my best friends. I have like a friend base there already because of coaching. I've already had coaches from the DC Market Council reach out to me and welcome me to the area. Like, you wouldn't get that in any other job. So that alone, I feel like that's just something that like you just can't get with coaching. So my apartment that I'm getting is more expensive than this one that I have. And it's a lot more expensive than my last one that I had. And I started like getting these like mean girl things in my head. And I was like starting to worry about money. And it was stupid. And it was all in my head, but I like started worrying about money. And then on my drive home, I just drove down there to secure my apartment about 2 weeks ago. So it's an 8-hour drive from Buffalo. So on my drive home, I really started thinking about it. I'm like, this is so stupid, because the more I like freak out about money or freak out about anything, like if you're freaking out like about your weight and getting nervous about that, like it's going to be harder to lose weight. You know, if you're freaking out about money, it's going to be harder for you to, you know, live with that abundant mindset. And I'm like, so let's just like take the emotion out of this and think of it logically. I'm like, I can hit Success Club like that. Like I figured it out. And the difference between rent here and there is hitting Success Club 10. Like, that's totally doable. Like, this is so stupid. I'm even freaking out about this. And I think it's just because I'm like, it's new and I'm leaving the state. So I don't know. I have this like security built here. But then I was also like, what PD can I do? So Andrea Crowder just started a group for Get Rich Lucky Bitch. So I bought that book. I haven't started reading that yet. And then I also got You Are a Badass at Making Money. And it's Jen Sincero who did You Are a Badass. She has a making money book. So I started listening to that on Audible yesterday, and I'm like almost done. I'm obsessed with it. So, you know, really figuring out like what you're struggling with, and then like what PD you can do in that. Oh, so what I was going to say, this is how this all like started. With the workouts being an hour, I can't believe I even remembered how I got on that tangent. With the workouts being an hour, I'm like so ADD that I was nervous about that. And I started with P90X where it was like hour and a half, and I hated it. Like, and I love Body Beast. I love the workouts. I'm a totally a weight girl, but Siggy just needs to stop talking and speed it up because I've got stuff to do. So a lot of times what I do with that is I put my headphones on and I go by the worksheets, because then I can go at my own speed. With 80-Day Obsession, with the 1 hour workouts, like she's fast. Like, you don't have time to think. You don't have time to do anything. And it is just like, get in, get out, cram as much as you can into 1 hour, and the time flies by. So don't let the 1 hour freak you out, because it seriously goes so fast.
I love it. I love it. So, how are you going to do like a little mini group to promote it? Do you have people in a group right now that you're kind of taking through it, or are you just going to wait until January when it?
I'm not totally sure. Like, I've kind of been going back and forth with what I'm doing with my groups right now. Right now I'm starting a new one called Love Your Closet Challenge. And it's basically like based on the idea of, you know, standing in front of your closet thinking you don't have any clothes, like nothing fits me, I don't have anything to wear, and just like how shitty that feels. And I kind of feel like every girl has been there at some point in time, and you're like trying everything on, and you're like going shopping to buy new clothes because nothing fits you. And so it's really about like being able to love your closet again. So this is going to be new to me. I'm starting it on the 9th. And I think what I'm going to do is make it, turn that into an ongoing group. So once you buy a challenge pack, then you're in it, and then I'll just change the theme every month.
I love that. That's a great idea.
And then somehow obviously work in the 80-Day Obsession, because I mean, just because I've been doing it and people have been watching me, they're excited about it and ready.
I'm super excited. I've been watching you.
I love it. It's my favorite workout, hands down.
Oh, yeah. Cause Autumn, she is speedy and she'll bust your booty too. So quick.
And I was so nervous because they told us literally zero about it. Like, they said it was ass and ab based for the workouts. And they sent us the sliders and then those like loops, like the resistant band loops. And it was 3 months. And I was just like, shit, I'm gonna be stuck doing Pilates for 3 months. And it's so not Pilates. I was so worried I was going to lose all my muscle. Like, yeah.
You've had some heavy weights in your hands in those Instagram stories.
So I have power blocks, and they go to 24 pounds. And I mean, I've done Body Beast, I've done everything, and I've built muscle totally fine with that. I ended up buying 30s and 40s.
Oh, nice. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Well, okay. And it's a timed food nutrition plan too, right? So you do you stop eating at like 3:38 p.m.? Please tell me no.
Oh, no. It's not intermittent fasting at all. It's just like what to eat, when to eat this group of foods. Best thing I can tell you is set a bazillion alarms on your phone. You can even set the alarm, like when 80 Day Obsession comes out and I can talk more about the meal plan, I'll come on and do a call for you guys. Like, I'll show you like my highlighter tricks and my phone app timer tricks. And
ooh, I love it. Yeah.
Because you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, oh my God. Like the first couple of days, the timers and highlighters saved me, because if not, you need it.
What a great value add for our clients too. You know, is there going to be, I mean, if we freak out about stuff, can you imagine how they feel?
Well, and that is the amazing thing about this group, is it's filmed live every day. And so like, I mean, we literally do it live at 12:30 Eastern. So it's 9:30 out in California. We do it live every day. And Autumn is in the group doing live videos. She comments on everything. She responds to everything. So the thing that's amazing with that is she sees what we're going through at each point. She sees like week 2, this is what we're struggling with. She sees like, this is where we're struggling with the meal plan. This is where we're struggling with certain moves or workouts. So the next day she's able to bring that up and talk about it on the video. So it's not just like, here's every Monday you have this workout and there's like blanket motivation that kind of works for everything. It's literally like what you need to hear on the day you need to hear it.
Oh, that's so smart.
You're going to watch this, and when she brings up stuff, you're going to be like, how is she in my head? And it's because she's listening to our feedback in the group and what we're struggling with. And then she's able to put that into the next workout.
Yeah.
So it's been really, really amazing. And it's been really cool just to see like this side of it too.
Oh, I love it. Well, and kind of just real quick because if you guys have any questions, you can ask Julie before we hop off. But how, what you just said about the group that you're going to be starting, how, a lot of us, we stand in front of our closet and we're even going back to like, when you focus on the weight loss, it's like, you can't freaking lose it because you're so frustrated and you're not trusting the process and getting into that momentum flow zone that things start just naturally, easily happening. It's like, I've even heard people say, well, if you're struggling with money, then just start giving it away, start donating it, and more might come back to you. It's like this crazy, living not with a scarcity mindset. And so you know how to speak to that person that needs to love their closet and their clothes more, because you talk to women all the time. And I want to encourage you guys, as you talk to more women, you're going to hear all these things as you get in this game a little bit more. And it's going to really empower you to say the things that your peeps need to hear and do the things that they need.
And they're telling me, I mean, if you do, like you can do forms, and just ask people like if you have them fill out like an application for a challenge group, you can ask them right in there, what do you struggle most with? Or what have you tried in the past that hasn't worked? You can even do a Facebook post like, hey, have you ever tried to lose weight? Like what's been your hang up? And that right there, or think of like, what are the top questions that people ask you? They're telling you what they're struggling with. Yeah. And a lot of times too, it's what you're going through. Mm-hmm. You can base it around like what you're going through, or if you think back to you like a couple steps before, you like just a little bit before in your journey and how you used to feel. And it's the little things like that people relate to.
That's crazy. I swear I've said that like 10 times before. You and I, like, we're on the same. That's how I think too. I'm like, what is the girl that's just right behind me need to hear at this point? So that's cool that Autumn.
If you guys aren't in the Beachbody Champions page yet, there was a video, I can send you the link to it. There was a video not long ago, and that's actually what gave me the idea of running this challenge. And it, like, she basically broke down exactly how she runs challenge groups, and it was amazing. And so I will send it to you, but she does it totally different. She does them all themed, and some of them are like random themes or like TV show themes. So like she'll do like a theme for the show Friends, and then everything, it's like a Ross tip Tuesday, or, you know, things like that. But she knows that those people are targeted and they're like having fun with it. And one of the things that she says is she tries to make them talk about themselves as much as they can. You know, and so like every post is kind of directed towards them talking about themselves, where they are, instead of just like, here, post a picture of, you know, your Shakeology for the day. And then it's like, okay, there's my picture.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, it was really, really good. So I'll share that. I can send that to you.
People, I mean, even with the coaching, with the business side and with the challenge group side, we all just want to have fun. You know what I mean? And so how do you keep the fun and find the fun? We just watched that movie Inside Out with the kids, and Joy. I love Joy. Have you seen that movie? You probably haven't, Julie. You would really actually like it.
I've seen like 4 movies in my life.
Really? Oh my goodness. I love movies.
Yeah.
Well, and guys, Julie's like, she'll even say on her Facebook post, like, I'm just really introverted, you know? So it's so cool to see how someone, you know, introverted, extroverted, whatever, like anybody can do this business for sure.
Oh, it's so true.
Yeah. So true. I kind of like hiding behind my computer too. I'm not going to lie. Me too. So real quick, if Beachbody, can I just ask you, can I put you on the spot for just a second? And then if anyone has any questions, if Carl were to be like, all right, guys, we gave it a good 10 years. We're done. We're closing Team Beachbody. I'm sorry. Good night. What do you feel like would be the thing that you would miss the most from this? I know it's a hard question.
You know, like, I don't think I would, this is going to sound so weird. I don't think I would miss anything, and here's why. It all would follow with me. Like, just because I wasn't a coach, like, I would still have those relationships, and I would still be able to figure out, like, coaching has given me the tools that I need to be able to kind of do anything I want, and the freedom to do anything I want. And, just even like, you know, the resources to look for other things to do also. And so I feel like if Beachbody did ever disappear, which I don't think they ever will, but if they ever did disappear, like, I still have my community, and we would figure out something still health and fitness related in a way to help them. And like, I feel like I would still be doing the exact same thing, and still be surrounded with the same people. And, you know, it's not like, I don't want to get too drama. It's not like when people leave to go to another MLM and then they like unfriend you on Facebook. It's like, then you really weren't friends to begin with. Like, I have friends that have left for other companies and we're still friends. Or like, I have friends that have dropped rank. We're still friends. You know, it's given me like such amazing relationships that, like, so I would say that I would miss the relationships, but I would still have them.
Yeah, I love it. That is such a good answer. The family.
I miss the trips and the parties. I mean, those are fun.
I know. They do put on good parties for sure.
On a hotel room.
Oh my goodness. Where the guy was knocking and I answered. I'm like, hi, sir. He's like, it's too loud. You need to
My hotel in Punta Cana was like 3 times the size of my apartment.
Dude, it was awesome.
And we had a team party there.
And it was loud.
And we got told to shut it down.
He kind of tried to give me the crazy eye, and I was like, okay, we'll leave in a minute. I was the wrong person to answer the door. Miss Assertive. Matt Rody should have answered the door. Okay, so Tab had a question on here. Oh, such a good party. And the room service, all the cold fries, we didn't even eat it. Tab asked, how many people are in the test group?
There's about 100. But I kind of feel like it's like everything else. Like you put 100 people in the group that are like all pumped up and ready to go. And then you just have people that don't post that are probably still doing it. That are just like not active in the group.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's about 100. And then you have like the people who post all day, every day. And then the people who just kind of like hop in every once in a while and they're like, hey, I'm still here. I just have a question, or here's a picture of my results. And then bye.
It's totally personality. I know, that's so funny.
It's so funny to see that, because it kind of makes you, I mean, it really does make you realize like it's the same no matter what. Like what we go through with our challenge groups, like you see it in these, this is my second test group now, like you see it in the test groups as well, and you see it with the coaches, and it's the same percentage, you know. Yeah, like Tabitha just said, it's like it's all the numbers, you know. It's still going to be the same. There's still going to be people who don't do it at all. There are going to be people who do it but half-ass it. There are going to be people who like are 100% all in from the start. And yeah, it's going to be, and I think that like takes the pressure off us as coaches, because it doesn't make it, it doesn't make it feel like it's us. You know what I mean? Because it can be really easy to be like, you know, I'm doing something wrong, or, you know, what could I have done?
Right. Well, and the only thing that we really have control of, and this is so cool because no matter how long you've been a coach, you always have to stay in phase one. Like the only true thing that keeps moving the needle on your business is the new people that you're inviting on your bus, and to view the opportunity. What did Tab ask? Did you see it?
Who's all it? My cat, so I started packing today. I have like boxes set over here. My cat's like passed out snoring.
Oh.
I was like, what is that noise? The all-ins, Alita Steele, Jatana Jackson, Christina Delgado, and Becky Brissett. Brittany Leggett.
Oh, Brittany's in it. You guys should follow all these people that she's saying.
I'm trying to think of who else is in there.
Jatana Jackson's the Instagram story girl. She's so fun.
So cute.
So I can't believe, I'm so excited. Is Shannon, she'll live an hour from you?
Yeah, so she's about an hour from me.
Oh, I'm so happy. And you guys met through Beachbody, right? And now she's your bestie.
Yeah, so my friend Jen, who signed up as a coach with me, who I've known forever, her and Jen went to school out here in Buffalo, but I didn't know Shannon then. And so then Shannon's been out in Annapolis for years. Shannon was in Texas and then Annapolis.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
When you guys come, you'll meet Julie at Summit next year. So it'll be fun. Does anyone have any questions?
Ashley Smith is one of them. Tulin, Brad Bizjack.
Tulin was on the National Wake Up Call this week, you guys. So listen to that.
Yeah, there's a lot of coaches in there.
I love it, Tab. I'm so nosy. Tab, I'm sad I don't get to see your face. I know.
157 comments.
Oh, I love it so much. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to just like breathe life over our team before you go and reply to all those comments on that picture? You're going to be up so late.
I can't wait to go see too, because like I'm really like, I love pet names, but I'm really bad at like coming up with names. I'm visually creative. I'm not word creative.
Oh yeah.
And I can't wait to see like what the answers are.
It'll be like Oscar, like some. Like,
I'm all about people names for pets too. Like that's the only way to go.
Totally.
So
okay.
I'm excited to see what the answers are.
I'm gonna go snoop too. You guys go check out Julie. Okay, Bianca, Tab, say thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Okay. I love you so much. I will be stalking you on Instagram stories.
Yeah. So my new thing is Instagram.
I love it.
I was on Snapchat. I'm still going to do Snapchat. But Instagram's where I'm going to do like my business stuff in the stories.
Okay, cool. And then have you had any challengers join you from Instagram lately?
Instagram's so funny because I built up my Instagram about 4.5 years ago, when Instagram was brand new. And it was, I used an application at the time that would like and comment. You put in 10 hashtags. No, it would just like them. You put in 10 hashtags and it would like every photo from those hashtags. And so what the idea was is that like people would see you liking those and then they would go and snoop you. And so I had at one point like 13.6 thousand followers on Instagram, but it's also been 5 years now. And a lot of those people don't even log in. So now I'm down to about 12,000 because a lot of them have just been like, you know, they deleted their account or whatever. And I'm using an application now that is deleting very slowly, but it's deleting people who haven't been active in 90 days just to get that number down because I have a lot of inactive. So if you go to my Instagram and you see that I have 12,000 followers, like my interaction is not where it should be for that. So I stopped, it's not that I stopped using Instagram for a while, but I wasn't as consistent. I find that the more fit I am, the more consistent I am with it because I have more stuff to take pictures of. And so now I'm just getting back into it and getting back into being consistent. And I'm absolutely obsessed with stories. Like I follow Haley Christian and Jatana. And it's really interesting following them because I'm totally not their target market at all. And I think you and I were talking, it was Lindsay and I were talking about this the other day because she like, yeah, I'm totally not either of their target markets whatsoever. But I watch them to see like what they're actually doing. So I watch them to see like how they invite, their posting schedules, things like that, and not their actual like personalities on there. Because they're both super successful, but like I'm not going to attract any of their market at all. So yeah, I look at it for like the basics of it and then be able to add my own flair to it.
That's smart. Yeah. Studying other coaches. Well, and
not my new thing. I love it.
Oh yeah. And you posted that egg bake. I saw it on your stories first. And then I think you posted it on your Facebook. It looked so good. I just took a screenshot.
I don't cook at all. And it was like the easiest thing. I just put a bunch of eggs because I needed food. And cause I started doing this meal prep service thing just because I'm not creative with food either. And I just can never think of like food to put together. And I went out to my car the other day when I was going to go and pick up my food and there was a hole through my windshield. So did you see that?
Mm-hmm. You couldn't believe it.
It's been a crazy week. So there was a hole through my windshield. So I didn't get my food this week. And so I had to like think of something to cook. So I was like, well, at least I'll make a social media post out of it. And I just made it up as I went. I just dumped everything in a pan and put it in the oven. And so I wasn't really updating like until it was like more done because I put it in the oven first for 20 minutes and it was like liquid. So I ended up cooking it for almost an hour, but I was like 20 minutes at a time. Add 15, add another 15, add another 15. I'm like, we're not going to post this on Snapchat till I'm done and I know if it actually works.
I know, right? I know. It looked so simple. I was like, 3 ingredients? This is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, even just the most simple stuff. I mean, it attracted me. It blessed my day because I thought, oh, well, that's a really fast, quick meal that I could throw into my mouth when I need fuel, when I need food. And so even thinking outside the box of like just turning those ordinary things into extraordinary posts to help someone else and bless them.
Yeah. Or, I mean, like I did the spaghetti squash after that. And like, because I don't cook a lot, I actually had to go to Pinterest to look up how to cook spaghetti squash. And I was like, if somebody else doesn't know how, like if I don't know how to, somebody else doesn't know how to. So I figured I would just post that too. And it got a lot of interaction and comments.
Yeah, because I forgot because it's been a year since I cooked one. So I was like, oh, I'm so glad Julie just posted that. Okay, 1 hour for this. Yeah, and it's just in your brain then. I love it. You're just giving people little shortcuts. Oh, okay. Well, I will let you go. Love you so much. Mwah. Thanks everyone for being on the call. Thanks, Julie. I can't even believe you've never been on a team call before. I'm like, how have I not asked her? Come on, a million times. So we might bug you for the little, 80-day obsession stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or we could do a combined team call or something fun.
Oh yeah, we could totally do that. Do like one big, like, here's how you eat.
That'd be an epic Instagram story. There'd be so many little.
Like it could be overwhelming. Like you definitely want to have the basic fix meal plan kind of down first.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, okay. Well, thanks.
Because that can be overwhelming enough already.
Right.
So like adding in the timing it could be a lot.
Yeah, because I'll forget. And especially with kids' schedules and everything.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to set that timer. You'll see me with my cooler around town. What's up? Got my ice pack. It's cool. Okay. Love you so much. Sleep good. And congrats on your move. And good luck with packing and your little kitty cat snuggling and snoozing on your boxes probably. All right.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye, guys.